It is now 2022, and the promising number of localizations set to hit the West for Otomes would have surprised any fan a few years ago for the sheer amount that we've got coming. Idea Factory recently returned to the genre with Cupid Parasite, P-Cube have done exceptionally well with the reception of Buster Fellows, and even Voltage have announced that they will be joining in with bringing exclusive titles to the Switch. There is a lot to look forward to in such a promising year for the genre, so let's go through all the heavy hitters expected to release in 2022. Special thanks to the wonderful Lilia Halal for writing this script. Please check her work out by following her on Twitter with the link in the description. These are her words, not mine. Variable Barricade is a rom-com starring a tsundere heroine who is voiced by Saki Fujita, the voice provider for the Vocaloid Hatsune Miku. Published by Axis Games and developed by Otome Idea Factory, its scenario writers will be familiar to Otome players in the West, which includes Nao Kojima, who is responsible for roots of Code Realize and Hakoki, and Satomi Nakayama, writer of Code Realize and Cafe Enchante roots. Quite notably, with this localization, it is marking the first appearance of its artist Kagero Usuba being brought to the West, who is responsible for the gorgeous character designs of both Reine de Fleur and Wand of Fortune series. Variable Barricade is a refreshing take on the Otome formula, with its love interest having to win over the heroine, unlike the usual relationship progression of the genre. Hibari is a high schooler and only daughter of the esteemed Tojo family, who is pressured to continue her bloodline through her grandfather's ultimatum of picking a suitor out of 4 questionable bachelors. If we had to guess, players will probably be falling for guys before Hibari does. And by the way, if you want to pre-order any of the games featured in this list, then please be sure to check out the description and the pinned comment, as that is where you can find them and also support us at the same time. We are not monetized at the minute, so it really is the best way to show your support. There's also some eShop credits as well, where you can stock up in time for these releases if you're a digital VN fan. Piofiore Episodio 1926 is the sequel of Piofiore Fated Memories, which was very well received in the West. We just talked about it not long ago in the video talking about all the best Otomes on the Switch. This is published by Axis Games and developed by Otome Idea Factory. Its brilliant scenario writer Kazura Ringo and talented artist Riri remain to ensure consistency and quality of the title. The game includes the after story of both good and true endings, love interest POV of the original game's events, and its true root of Henry's after story. Each one is separated into 3 segments: Bellone, Alternativa, and Henry. Based on Japanese reviews, we can expect more action, darker plot lines, and further depth added to established characters. Who else is looking forward to seeing more exploration of its ultimate trash fire of a love interest in Yang? Published by Axis Games and developed by Otome Idea Factory, Lover Pretend is another rom-com Otome. The story follows Chiyuki, a university student who aspires to do 2 things in her life: become a screenwriter to achieve the same dream her late mother had, and locate her father she had never met before. As a recently employed assistant writer, she is dragged into faking a relationship after being cast as the love interest to the main character. Lover Pretend has 5 love interests and a locked route order. It is shaping up to be the ideal laid-back and cozy Otome for the Switch that prioritizes romance and character interactions over its plot. If you've made it this far into the list, you must be a fan of visual novels. Therefore, do the world a massive favor by subscribing and hitting that bell notification to VN Paradise. Help us grow and spread the word about visual novels. Plus, we are giving away a physical copy of Lyrica 1 and 2 for the Nintendo Switch once we hit 1,000 subscribers. Paradigm Paradox received mixed reception upon release in Japan, which has been mostly due to how its unexpectedly angsty material is juxtaposed to its bright and happy visuals and character designs. Its story is centered around a futuristic society where walls keep the monstrous enemies named Vermin out from its human colonies. Our heroine Yuki becomes involved with its heroes after growing tired of their repetitive day-to-day existence. But what's the deal with them turning into magical girls to fight them off? The game also allows romance with its villains and was created as a collaboration with 8P, a then newly debuting group of voice actors who voice the love interest. The game is developed by Otome and published by Axis Games. Kimi wa yukima ni koinegau has not seen much coverage online due to Otome requesting that spoilers are kept to the bare minimum since its release. Set in the Kyoho era, its heroine, Suzuno, is able to see threads that can predict future disasters if they appear black. Due to her special ability, she has lived in isolation after being condoned by her village. Its poster boy, who is a member of the Oniwaban, an organization that polices the monsters that roam the land, reintroduces herself to normality in a plot-heavy storyline that feels reminiscent of how the touching journey of Code Realized began. The game has plenty of notable scenario writers, including Sabaogi, who provided material for Period Cube on the Vita, Maro Sasaki, who wrote Canis' Route for Cafe Enchante, and Yuki Yoshino, who was a writer for Nekopara Catboy's Paradise. Most notably about this release is that it features character designs of the iconic Nagaoka, who is responsible for the designs of the highly popular Japanese exclusive Otome Clock Zero. It should go without saying that supporting this game, the chances of seeing Clock Zero may make this dream one step closer to being reality. The game will be published by Axis Games and received a Gold Famitsu award. Published by Idea Factory International and developed by Red Entertainment Corporation, Birushana, Rising Flower of Genpei also received a Gold Famitsu rating. Its heroine Shanao has been positively received for being both mentally and physically strong and has depth and agency. Set in the Heian period, the plot follows the civil war of Genpei between 1180 and 1185. Shanao aims to unite two clans at each other's throats whilst hiding her true identity as the daughter of General Minato no Yoshitsune. Its plot, setting, and appearance harkens back to that of the classic Hakoki. It has been highly praised and rated, so here's to seeing it be a success in the West. Possibly the most surprising release comes from an unexpected developer jumping onto the console bandwagon. Voltage Inc., known mostly for their mobile exclusive Otomes and ports of their most popular ones on the Switch, announced that even if Tempest is their first Switch exclusive Otome game, an Otome where witch trials and life redos meet, its heroine Anastasia looks a cut above the rest with a striking red, short bob haircut and the wielding of a weapon. The majority of her life is consisted of her spent locked in a filthy attic by her uncaring stepmother. Anastasia's luck is about to turn around with the power of Fatal Rewind, but there is a catch. Any usage of it may introduce a fate worse than death. Even if Tempest has a stellar voice acting cast and promisingly directed and written by Ushio Ayane, who is responsible for the scenario writing of the Vita exclusive Otome Norn 9. The game will be available digitally through the Switch's eShop. Okay, now we're closing off this list with the most mysterious of the titles. Idea Factory commented that there is an unnamed localization in the works, but which one it will be, that is anyone's guess. As far as our own speculations go, it is almost certainly between two titles: My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom, or Shuen no Verse, Era Salvation. Both are newer releases, and the former is already well established in the West, making it have the most potential in being the secret title. Otherwise, ports of either Hakuoki or Amnesia seem to be just as likely. How about anything else? Although any of these outcomes could be already extremely enticing, our fingers are crossed for more updates on Jack Jean, especially. Developer Broccoli dropped a teaser back in March last year suggesting expanding its reach into the West due to popularity of its creator Sui Ishida, best known for Tokyo Ghoul. However, they have fallen quiet ever since then. Keep your eyes peeled for more potential details, and we know we will be. And there we have it, visual novel fans, Otome fans, which upcoming Switch release are you most excited about? Please let us know in the comments, and of course consider subscribing and hitting that bell button. If you like visual novels, you'll be doing yourselves a favor. Many thanks to Lilia Helal for writing this script. Please let her know that she's done a great job and follow her on her social links in the pinned comments. Please check out the previous video about all the best Otomes currently on the Switch, as there's plenty of reading material to be getting on with before these ones arrive. The links below in the description are where you can pre-order some of these titles or grab some store credit. It really does help support us.